Hey everybody, this is Kyle, and here's another installment of the What Can We Learn series. And I keep tossing around the idea of doing like a Zoom meeting, getting a small group of people together, talk about songwriting and some stuff like that. Not that I'm a great songwriter, but I am a very practiced songwriter. So thinking about this whole idea, I came across this video of Willie Nelson giving some advice and checking us out. This is great stuff.
I try to rip them all off. No, Jamie Johnson's a good example of the new guys that can really write and perform.
That's a really good point, ripping off people. In today's world, I don't know that like song sharks are as big a deal as they used to be. I have someone in my family used to live in California, who did a lot of songwriting, performing, and would talk about, you go to a songwriter night and there's going to be tons of people there seeing if they can steal from you. And Willie comes from that folk tradition, and that's a folk thing. You hear something, you kind of beg, borrow, and steal when it comes to music and melody and stuff.
There's a lot of good talent coming along out there. And somewhere there's a guy headed to Nashville with a suitcase full of songs right now.
What advice would you give for that person who's coming along?
Turn around. No, just kidding.
That is great advice. Now here's my take on people going to Nashville, because I have friends that are in Nashville right now. It seems like to me that, if you go to Nashville or LA or New York or wherever there is some industry so you can try to sell the songs you're making, there seems to be a big distinction between people going to a market to perform original music and people going to a market to sell their creation. And it's hard to go from one side to the other, just seeing how my friends are doing and things like that. And I will say this, Nashville is a super fun city to visit and stuff. When it comes to music, it is super ridiculously cutthroat competitive. I've had people contact a venue I was playing and say, oh yeah, Kyle's canceling, and trying to get the gig spot. And I have some other stories that are kind of similar. So with me, my experience with Nashville has left me with a lot of experience gained. Let me know in the comments if you know anybody that is performing their own original music. I know a lot of people I'm connected with here on YouTube do. Do you perform your music in front of people, or do you try to sell the music that you write for other people to perform? Let me know. I'm always interested in stuff like that. Let's hear some more Willie.
I could play what I wanted to play, and it was a little town in Texas, Hillsboro, KHBR, and they kind of let me do what I wanted to do. And I could we had our band on there on Saturdays. We'd play.
That's a great point. Being in a setting where whatever music you're writing, you get a chance to play it. Thinking about music today, so many people write music that aren't performing music. That's not a bad thing. It's just the way things have just changed over time. And there are a lot of YouTube channels that talk about like metal bands that are only online, rappers, other producers and things like that. They don't go and perform. They're just working online. And that's a real fascinating thing for me, because my album, Diffuse, my second one where I was singing, all those songs I was out playing and seeing how people responded to them. My next album, New Vintage, same thing, except for a couple songs on there I didn't get a chance to play out much. When you go to songwriter nights, open mics, you're playing your own gigs, and you're sharing original music, you get that opportunity to see immediately, does anyone care? And that is the hardest pill as a songwriter, content creator, artist, anything like that. It's cool to create. I mean, writing a song is so easy, but can you put it together in a way that people care? That's the hard part. And then taking it to the next level, are you able to kind of catalog what people care about so you can include those elements? Or are you purposely excluding something? So then you're trying a new idea, it's something novel, maybe taking a little ironic twist with a genre, mixing it with a subgenre, something like that.
Like 30 minutes or an hour, and I'd get to promote wherever we were playing that night, and what beer joint we were in that night. But it was a lot of fun.
Did you play a lot of different kinds of music, like lots of genres?
Well, I think we still, play everything from Stardust to, Bob Wills.
Great point here. Trial by fire. You can learn so much. And this to me is what I completely enjoy about performing music is every time I perform, I always try to learn something new. It might be just learning about the people are there. What is the situation? And developing that skill of sensing, hey, these people like 70s music. These people want to hear early 2000s. These people want more pop. These people want more blues. Stick to outlaw country, whatever the case is. And it's cool here that Willie is sharing that insight like, hey, figure stuff out. Give it a try. Get out there and do it.
How do you listen to music?
Well, for instance, right here, I have a little thing up here where I can play CDs, and I have a radio here where I can listen to. You ever listen to Willie's Roadhouse? Yeah, I can hear that.
You gotta self-promote. I hate doing it myself. Check out my Patreon. I'll say thanks to people at the end of this video. But if you don't promote yourself or get people to, no one's gonna do it. Anyway.
And so I'm pretty well hooked up. Oh, I don't know. I've always enjoyed, playing different characters. I grew up listening and watching Gene Autry and Roy Rogers and all those guys, and I always said, well, I want to do that one of these days.
But as a creator, you might have to develop a character to be saying the words in the story. Sometimes I'll write a song that is very emotional in one way or another, but a lot of times I'll have a lot of personal stake and then I add a lot of fiction. And that's hard sometimes for people to understand, is often you are playing a role. One thing that really helped me get better at writing songs is being able to take an idea and develop it into a story. Now, I have an English degree and I taught high school level English for many years. And yeah, that helped. I'm not gonna lie. And I think what Willie is hinting at a little bit, or at least an application of what he's saying, is often as a songwriter, when you write out a song, it's not about your personal view on things that happen. You're writing from a character's point of view, thinking, hey, from this vantage point, how would life look? This was cool to hear some of Willie's thoughts on songwriting. Someone is obviously full of skill and experience. What can I get from hearing this person talk? And I'm always interested in learning something. If you know of a songwriter that has like an interview or something like that here on YouTube or somewhere where I can access, let me know in the comments. Because this idea of songwriting, creativity, how can we share ideas? That's me. That is who I am. That is what I'm interested in. And that's why I like to share it with you. And let me know. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. I want to take a moment and thank my patrons because their contributions each month really make these videos possible. Yeah, you might see ads on here, but the ads don't do as well as Patreon does. If you like supporting indie creators like me, please consider it. It's as little as $1 per month, and you can pay $3 and $5 for some extra perks and things. I've been sharing weekly videos of live music performances, and that is a lot of fun because live music is happening again outside the city where I live. I'm getting lots and lots of video, and it's going on Patreon.